Now we move on to our next presentation. We have with us Dr. Arjun SR joining us all the way from US, and he'll be speaking on the topic of the concept of Bhakti in Madhva Paramparā. Let me just give a brief introduction to him. Dr. Arjun is basically from Srirangpatna, Karnataka, and he studied in Purna Pragya Vidyapeetham, a Gurukula in Bangalore for 12 years, and has received 2 MA degrees in Sanskrit and Navya Nyaya respectively. He is a gold medalist in MA Navya Nyaya. He completed his PhD under the guidance of renowned computational linguist Professor Amba Kulkarni from Hyderabad Central University. Later, he worked as assistant professor at the Department of Philosophy, Mahe, Manipal, and recently he shifted to Department of Liberal Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences at Mahe, Bengaluru campus. Dr. Arjun has academic interests in Sanskrit computational linguistics, Indian philosophy, Indian knowledge systems, Sanskrit language and literature, Itihasa, and translation studies. He has many publications to his credit and he is working on 3 international projects on different fields like Mahabharata, IKS, and language technology. He is always proud to say that he is one of the disciples of Padma Vibhushana Parampuja Shri Visheshwara Tirtha Swamiji of Pejawar Mutt, Udupi. We are very fortunate to have you here, Arjunji. So please go ahead and start your presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Nitin Mohdaya. Am I audible and visible
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Okay. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Narayanaya Paripurna Gunarnavaya Vishwodaya Sthiti Layon Niyati Pradaya Jnana Pradaya Vibudhasura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vitataya Namo Namaste Tapaswadhyaya Shushrusha Krishna Puja Ratam Munim Vishvesham Ishtadam Vande Paribrat Chakravartinam Sarva Vagishwaru Vishnu Stri Rupo Mam Suvadayet Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Namaste to all the people who are present in this particular wonderful event organized by INDICA. I must express my gratitude to the organizers for particularly INDICA Academy always does events like this, which are very helpful, not even for a interested person, but even the scholars can take benefit out of these kind of events. So, and you have made me a part of this. I'm grateful for that. So coming to the point, I will be discussing on the concept of Bhakti in Madhva Paramparā in the stipulated time. We all know that moksha is the ultimate goal for all the philosophical schools, but they chose different paths to reach that particular destination. So even the Astika Darshanas, even the Nastika Darshanas, in one or the other form, they look for the moksha. The concept of moksha is highly looked after. In that particular path, they choose. I mean, most of the Vedantic schools discusses on 3 important margas, which are Jnana Marga, Karma Marga, and Bhakti Marga. Some give importance to Jnana Marga, some give importance to Karma Marga, like in the Mimamsa Darshana, they give importance to Karma Marga. When it comes to Vedanta, Uttara Mimamsa, particularly Acharya Traya and other scholars, they give importance to jnana, but all these philosophical schools give utmost importance to the concept of bhakti as well. It is highly discussed, highly analyzed concept in any philosophical school. Actually, there is a strong connection between jnana, bhakti, and karma. In the Tattvavada tradition, in the Dvaita philosophical schools tradition, Acharya Madhva gave utmost importance to bhakti. Though jnana and karma, these two are also important, but above all, bhakti is the gariyasi, it is the utmost important concept. It is best than the rest. He quotes from different sources, from Rigveda, Vedas and Upanishads, and from the Itihasas and Puranas as well. Even some sources are even unavailable for us. Such quotations are given in many of his works, which are collectively called Sarva Mula Grantaha. For example, the amalgamation of these three, jnana, bhakti, karma, is very beautifully narrated in different, quoting different sources. In Gita Bhashya, he quotes Gautama Khila, where it highlights Vina jnanam kuto bhaktihi, kuto bhaktim vina cha tat. So there is a strong connection between jnana and bhakti. So, but still, in Tattvavada, in the Dvaita philosophical school, bhakti is given utmost importance. So, what is bhakti according to Madhvacharya? Acharya Madhva, in his Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya, he gives a definition for bhakti, which is Mahatmya Jnana Purvastu Sudruda Sarvatodhikaha Sneho Bhakti Riti Proktaha. And the shloka continues, Taya Muktir Na Chanyatha. The bhakti, what is bhakti? Bhakti, by the bhakti, Taya, from the bhakti, Muktihi, Mokshaha, Nacha Anyatha. There is no other way to attain moksha. So, what is bhakti? Nehaha bhaktihi. The love or the affection is what bhakti means. We can all, the sneha, when we look at the word sneha, the meaning of the sneha in the dictionaries, it gives, it is used in another sense also. Oiliness is what another meaning. That can also be a wonderful meaning. The connection between a bhakta and Parabrahma will be like an oil. When we dip our finger to an oil, when we touch two fingers, there will be, though these two are disconnected, but there is a connection through that oiliness. So that looks like very thick one. Okay, but if we take the love or the affection, that is another sense of the word sneha, it more apt meaning here. So that love or affection towards Parabrahma is what bhakti. But this word sneha has three adjectives in this particular definition. It has three visheshanas, which are Mahatmya Jnana Purvaha, Sudrudaha, Sarvatodhikaha. These three are the important adjectives given by Acharya Madhva. And it is very carefully defined in this particular shloka. If we look at the Mahatmya Jnana Purvaha, Sudrudaha, Sarvatodhikaha, we have this love or affection in many things, right? In the worldly things also we have this connection or the affection. But we don't have, I mean, all these one or the other adjectives will be not there, or we won't give importance to these adjectives. Mahatmya Jnana Purvastu. We must, this bhakti, this love must come after the Mahatmya Jnana. Mahatmya Jnana, the magnanimity of Parabrahma, the knowledge of that magnanimity must be there. Then you can do you can have this kind of love or the affection. But this magnanimity, the knowledge of this magnanimity of Parabrahma is impossible, right? So what to do for that? So I can't be a bhakta at all? No, there are margas for that. All the, as it is said, Bhakti-Charatsaram, Hekshadi Tritayam Pramanamakila Amnaya Hekshadi Tritayam Pramanamakila Nayaika Vedyo Harihi Amnayaika Vedyaha Harihi. Parabrahma is known by the Vedic literature. So we can go into the study or the deeper analysis of the Vedika Shastras, which are given by Acharya Parampara. We can engage ourselves with that. That is a constant process. We will be knowing Parabrahma step by step, and also our love or the affection towards Parabrahma is also increasing. So Mahatmya Jnana Purvakaha Snehaha Bhaktihi. And it must be Sudrudha. It must be very strong. It must not shaken by anything. When in the case of bhaktas, when we look at the bhakti in the bhaktas like Prahlada Maharaja, it is Sudrudha. There are many attempts by Hiranyakashipu to get rid of that particular affection towards the Parabrahma Hari with Prahlada, but it was never broken. Many attempts were failed. So that kind of very strong connection is what highlighted, that kind of love, affection, whether I'm in a good condition or a bad condition, irrespective of our state, we must show that love or the affection, that connection must be there. And also, sarvatodhikaha. When it comes to Parabrahma, it must be the supreme most. There is nothing beyond that Parabrahma. That kind of bhakti is only possible by bhaktas like Prahlada Maharaja or Hanuman or many other instances we can see in the literature. But can we attain that level? The stories of Prahlada Maharaja or Hanumanta or any other bhaktas, even the followers of these Navavidha Bhaktis, there are different stories comes up in the Itihasa and Puranas, where all these aspects are beautifully, even in Rajamila's case also, even Jadabharata's case. If we take all these stories, Mahatmya Jnana Purvaka, Sudhrida and Sarvatodhika Bhakti is seen, and listening to their stories, we must start thinking about it. We can also practice that, and then we must adopt it, and then definitely we can also go elevate ourselves towards to become a bhakta. And in even Raghavendra Swami also discusses in the Gita Vivruti very beautifully. He discusses about the concept of bhakti. Even Jayatirtha Muni discusses very in detail in Tritiya Adhyaya of Srimad Nyaya Sudha. And many the scholars who have the successors in the Madhva Parampara, they have highlighted the concept of bhakti in a very detailed manner. But in even Acharya, in Madhva Parampara, we all have given importance to Bhagavata also. We start with Bhagavata Mahatmya, in that which is occurred in Padma Purana. In that also there is a conversation between Bhakti and Narada. Bhakti discusses with the Narada about her state in this particular Kali Yuga. But Narada's answers in around 20 to 22 verses, it's amazing. It gives, it completely highlights how important bhakti is. One of the shlokas, if I put it here, it will be Satyadi Triyuge Bodha Vairagyau Mukti Sadhakau. Satyadi Triyuge Bodha Vairagyau Jnana Vairagyau Mukti Sadhakau. Kalau tu in Kali Yuga Kevala Bhakti hi Brahma Sayujya Karini. Bhakti is the only way to attain the moksha. Is that much important. Even further, Narada Maharshi explains about the importance of bhakti. And this kind of bhakti is not only in Parabrahma, in Vishnu or in Narayana. It is on all the devatas also. In the Madhva's tradition, we must show that this kind of bhakti not only in Paramatma. Sarvatodhika Sneha will be with Vishnu only, but the bhakti is not only limited to Parabrahma. We are supposed to show our bhakti to all other devatas also. There is one shloka in Mahabharata Tatparinirnaya. It says, Tasmad Ananta Gunapurna Mamum Ramesham Nishchitya Dosharahitam Paraiva Bhaktya Vijnaya Daivata Ganamscha Yatha Kremena Bhakta Hareriti Sadaiva Bhajeta Viraha. Though there is an interesting concept called Taratamya concept, which is unique in Tattvavada. According to that, we have to do bhakti in all the devatas according to their level. Okay, so this bhakti is not only for the Parabrahma, but we also have to do in other devatas also. Even in the worship of Shiva is also highly followed in Madhva tradition, because we agree Shiva is considered as Bhagavatottama. Okay, so that tradition is also there in Madhva tradition. And so, as Krishna himself said, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Bhakti is an, if whatever we are doing, it can be an activity, it can be a study, or it can be a jnana karya, or even it is in karma. We have to have the concept of bhakti in without any not giving less importance to that. I think by this note, I would like to stop here and like to take some. Did I complete the time? I couldn't follow that.
You still have time. I think around 8-9 minutes you have. You can, yeah. If you want to add something else, you can go ahead.
Okay, I think I will stop here because if I go more than that, it won't be covered within that time. Okay, I think maybe some comments by the scholars present here can be very interesting.
Thank you, Arjunji. It was a wonderful presentation, especially from the Madhva perspective, to know about Bhakti. If anybody has any comments, please do share. Nagaraji, Hariji.
Yeah, it was very good, Arjun. Ray.
Thank you, sir.
I just wanted to provoke a very small 8-minute filling answer from you. As a Navya Nyaya scholar, how would you talk about bhakti? What is the avachedakatva of bhakti uh, for
Okay.
in the language of a very general audience?
Okay. Okay. Definitely. Thank you. I think bhakti in the Navya tradition, moksha can be attained by knowing the real world which exists within whatever we experience. That real world's unambiguous knowledge is what, when we have that unambiguous knowledge of the real world, then we automatically attain the moksha. This is what Nyaya scholars discuss. But they have not even Paramatma is also not given much importance in the Nyaya tradition because of this, and the bhakti is considered as one of the guna category, and that they say yes, there is one this Mahatmya Jnana is associated with that. They say knowing Paramatma with the Vedic literature, which is composed by Paramatma himself, because he is the Sarvajna, he can only be the author of Vedas. So he, knowing him by those texts is what will give, and affection towards him also is what bhakti is in I mean it is very the importance is not given in Nyaya tradition. Hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much. That actually shows what all the earlier speakers also have been saying. The Shraddha or Bhakti or whichever spiritual feature is there in the Vedika Sampradaya, Vedika Parampara, is actually Shastriya. It does not come from a belief in something which is not above Shastra. That is the distinguishing feature from what the Western audience have already seen. The Western audience have already seen faith to be the opposite side of science. Whereas in the Vedika Parampara, Shraddha and Bhakti are on the side of Shastra itself. They are Shastriya Bhakti, Shastriya Shraddha. And there is a Shastra of Bhakti and Shastra of Shraddha. Because for them, science is, there cannot be a science of faith. For them, science is the opposite of faith. They fought during the emergence of modern period. All the fights were between science and faith. And faith stoned science in the form of stoning Galileo. So the whole science and religion debate it started because of this Shastra Shraddha Vairudhya that they had. We do not have a Shastra Shraddha Vairudhya.
Yes.
Our Shraddha and our Bhakti is a Shastriya Bhakti and Shastriya Shraddha. You brought it out very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Arjunji, and thank you, Nagarajji, for this follow-up questions. Again, wonderful presentation, and we all got to know some basics of the idea from a Madhva perspective, Madhvacharya perspective. I think these are all topics which can be discussed whole day, throughout the day in very depth. Thank you very much.